Anybody who doubts I'm an exquisite Karen could kiss my exquisite derriere. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm gonna be reviewing episode 2 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 11. Who try saying that quickly? We start off the episode right away with Garcelle driving somewhere in the mountains. She's on the phone with Sutan and she's explaining like, oh, I'm gonna have a sit down with Kyle. I'm gonna have dinner with her because I saw her at the party last week from last week's episode where they all went to Dorit's house. And we didn't really talk. She wants to hash out any type of issues that she may be brewing with Kyle. And then we move on to the police finally arresting Erica. No, I'm just kidding. Not yet. But we see a foreshadowing, if you will, of the police eventually going to Erica's house because Sutan, knock, 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 it's the police. And Erica's just like, oh, yeah, yeah, let me open the door, you know, all casually. If y'all noticed, Expensive by Erica Jane was playing in the background as they were transitioning into her and Sutan's scene. And I'm like, oh, these shady producers, you know, because obviously it's not expensive to be her. All you have to do is just be a scammer. And the other thing, too, from last week's episode that they're continuing doing on this episode is that they continue zooming in on all her stuff. Like, oh, are those Chanel boots? Zoom in faster, now, now, now. Like, I could just picture Andy in the microphone of the camera people like, okay, hurry up. If you see anything with an LV on it, zoom in. Fast, 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 you fucking idiot. Hurry up. They're just setting her up to fall big time. This is also interesting how it's also a mini foreshadowing to how later on he confronts Erica about something and Erica's like, or what? Or what? Or what? Kind of wonder like what escalated from this episode till then. And then we move on to Garcelle meeting with Kyle's nose and they sit down for dinner and Garcelle wants to address the whole donation charity thing that Kyle kind of not threw her underneath the bus but addressed it at the reunion. And Garcelle's just like, you know, I don't really like that you address me that way, that you're saying that, oh, I didn't pay for the charity when I in fact did. And then Kyle's nose is just like, oh, but you know, yeah, I didn't handle the money or anything. It was somebody else. It's just, I don't know how it was, but that's just what I was told. And then Garcelle's just telling her, would you have done it to the other white woman? And you know Kyle was just sitting there like, fuck, get that camera out of my face, get that camera out of my face, get that camera out of my face. And then Kyle said, oh my God, no, I would never, like, I never even thought of it that way. And then Garcelle breaks it down to her like, yeah, you don't have to look at it that way. You're a white woman in Beverly Hills with money. Nobody looks at you as anything. They just kind of, they're all in their little bubble, as she said, which she is right. This is something that I like with the direction of this show, that they introduced Garcelle and Crystal on board, and now they're both just like bringing up subjects of people of color, of black people, of stereotypes, of things that the other white women have not had to really talk about for all these seasons. And now they're all shook because they don't really know how to handle it, because I would figure that they never had to talk about or experience anything. I mean, again, they're in Beverly Hills with money. All they care about is Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and the next thing that they're gonna buy. So then Kyle's like, no, I would never do that. I mean, yes, I understand where you're coming from. And Garcelle was explaining that she was at a restaurant and she still decided to tip, even if the service was terrible, just because, oh, I don't want them thinking, oh, she was black. She wasn't gonna tip regardless anyway. She kind of wanted to break that stereotype, even though if she would not have paid, it would have been rightfully so. Kyle kind of understands, she kind of gets in, she apologizes and says like, no, like, I'm so sorry like for making you feel like that and stuff. And I would like to say that her apology and her words are sincere, but you never know. And then we move on with Crystal and her family, and her family dynamic is very interesting. They have the director of Lion King on this show. Like, how did they get this man to agree to be on this show? And she's like, you know, giving his resume to us, and I'm just like, okay, sis, but what about you? What did you do? And she introduces us to her housekeeper, which is Lucy, I believe her name is. And Lucy's a bad bitch. I'm gonna need Andy to give Lucy, the housekeeper, a diamond for next season because she looks like she plays no game. She's like, listen, Crystal, I know you and your husband are the rich ones, but bitch, I'm the baddest bitch in here and I'm doing shit like my way. So take off that ugly dress. Crystal's saying how she does so many things and how she runs her family and she runs her home, but from the looks of it, at least from what we showed, it's mostly Lucy doing everything around. So I'm not sure what she's talking about All she does is play with her little calendar thing on her app. Which is also another thing that's crazy to me. I don't know how I will feel like managing my life like the way Crystal does. I mean, if it works for her, okay. But having everything planned out like that on her phone to the T, and it's just like, if I'm not here at this time, am I doing this late? Am I doing this wrong? Am I doing this wrong? That's too much. Even when she's in the confessional, she jokingly said, are we on time here? Am I here? Are we on schedule? Even though she was just kidding, I feel like she wasn't. She was probably like, oh my God, I need to get home and do something else quickly. Like, Lucy's probably waiting for me at home and she's probably gonna like be so upset with me for buying 2 pairs of shoes. And then on top of that, she says that her brother is a K-pop artist back home. And I'm just like, what? Like, this woman has a very interesting life with many different aspects, with many different type of people around her. I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, so can we get a spinoff with you and your family and show us what that is back home? Do y'all know who he is? I mean, I didn't do my research on him, but I wonder how popular he is. And then one by one, all the women start reuniting to get ready to go on this plane to Lake Tahoe as Lisa Rinna promised last week. And Lisa Rinna's waiting there and Garcelle's the first one. And it's pretty awkward. They're not really talking to each other. And it's just like, okay, what's going to happen next? Like, oh, you got more lip injections? Oh, that's cute. Yeah, so I'm going to be over here and scrolling through my phone, even though I had no notifications. Yeah. And then Kyle comes in, everybody comes in. Kathy Hilton also comes on, and she's just somebody's drunk mom. Like, that's the vibe she gives me. She's very, like, crazy and wild. It always seems as if she took, like, 3 shots of tequila before she got on camera. Like, oh, let me just get drunk and let me just walk up on here. You know, that's the vibe she gets me. And then, of course, Your Highness comes on. Erica Jane comes on in an orange jumpsuit, ready for prison. It's like, I'm telling you, so much foreshadowing. It's so hilarious when they're finally on the little plane and Garcelle's like, oh my God, I'm scared. You know, she has some type of fears because when she was a model, she used to get on these planes and it was kind of scary and the turbulence, and I don't blame her at all. Even when in big planes, I brace myself. I'm like, oh my God, this is over. It's ending right here. I should have finished that Netflix show before I got on this damn plane and now this is my end right here. Like, no. And they finally get to this huge estate, like this huge house. And the guy's there and he has his face mask on. He's the only one there with the face mask on. And he's probably like, these fucking hoes, like they don't even have their mask on. And I'm over here trying to protect my damn self. I don't know these Beverly Hills bitches. Like, what's going on here? They all go in and they're all looking around and they glance at everything. And it's so nice. I love the pool area. And then these bougie hoes are just so annoying. Oh, I don't want to carry my bags. Wait. We have to carry our own bags? And then here's Kathy. I need my fan. Where's my fan? I need my fan. I am not sleeping without my fan. I can relate to that because I sometimes need a fan or some type of noise. Sometimes if it's way too silent, I can't sleep. So I get it. But why not get like a white noise machine or something on her phone? Why do you need a fan specifically unless it's just to cool off? They all eventually get their rooms and Garcelle's like, oh no, I am not going to be the one attacked by a bear. I'm going upstairs. Like this, no. Especially if your warning is, oh, sometimes there's bears on the first floor. Like imagine waking up to pee and you're just like barely opening your eyes and you wake up to a bear looking at you about to claw you out. Of course, it doesn't make sense. I'm going upstairs. Then Kyle decides to cook dinner for the women and you should have just stuck to the cook, sis, because that fish was very burnt. Like, I'm not a fan of salmon, but that just looked gross. Somebody left their plate there completely full with the with the fish as well. Then they all sit down and Sutan gives them all a gift. And she's like, oh, since it's election week next week, I was thinking this would be a good gift, and it's a flask. And I'm just like, speaking of election, who did you vote for, Sutan? And then Dorit suggests they play 2 truths and 1 lie. And then they all go around, but the one that really caught everybody's attention was Crystal. So then she says that she used to be a temp for an escort agency. I'm like, what else did you do in your background, Crystal? You sure you ain't dabbled in that escort agency? After all the women eventually go to their rooms, and then we have Garcelle, she goes to see Lisa, because she's still a little paranoid that she can't really trust Lisa after the whole Denise debacle last season. And rightfully so, because if I was Garcelle, I would not trust her at all. I would not care what Lisa is telling you or trying to manipulate you to believe. But No, the minute that she gets any type of dirt or something that Garcelle says or does rubs her the wrong way, she's gonna turn on her, just like how she did with Denise. And Garcelle's like, my problem is that I don't get angry enough because I don't want to fall into that stereotypical of, me as a black woman being angry or being aggressive or too much. But in this case, rightfully so. I mean, I would not trust Lisa. So if I was her, I would be a little bit upset with her, especially seeing how she did her friend last season. I mean, she was friends with Denise, and you just threw her under the bus and you continue running her over with that bus. So what makes you think that that bus is not going to come towards you? So Garcelle's just like, I don't really know if I can trust you. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm walking on thin ice, and they kind of squashed it again. I could be wrong, but I just feel like Lisa's gonna end up doing Garcelle dirty, and she's gonna be her target in the future. They might as well give Denise a diamond too, because they continue bringing her name up in every scene so far. So I'm like, okay, she's still on the show. Like, are we gonna bring her back? It would be interesting if they did bring her back, because it was so wrong how they threw her off. But it would be interesting if she was to come back. How would the dynamics be? I mean, would Lisa apologize to Denise? And then we get to the showdown from Crystal versus Karen. I mean, Sutan. Oh my God. So Sutan just put her new diamond in her mouth. This is who everybody was crazy about. That they wanted her to have a diamond so bad. I never liked Sutan from the beginning when she first popped up on the show. And it's more proof right here of why I didn't. Like, I could smell it. I could smell the Karen from in her. And so Kyle, Crystal, and Sutan are all talking about Garcelle's situation with Kyle, how she addressed her, and Kyle's just explaining it to them, and she understood now that Garcelle educated her with a little bit more facts that, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I could see why she was upset with me. And then Sutan just makes it about herself, just, no, I just don't agree with that. I just feel like you have to walk on pins and needles with Garcelle. Like, what? I don't agree with that. And then Crystal tries to interject. As an Asian woman, I can see how stereotypes and comments like that could be harmful. And then Sutan's like, wait, what I'm not gonna do right now, no. Did y'all see how she whiplashed her mouth? Like, she just wanted to bash Crystal in the head. Like, the Karen was coming out. She said, must not react to what Crystal is saying, even though I want to. I can't expose. Crystal, no, you are wrong. Like, that's exactly what she was doing the entire time. And she was like, I am not gonna do this with you right now. Like, she pointed out the finger and everything. I was just waiting for her to be like, I want to talk to Bravo's manager right now. This is completely not right. We are talking about racial stereotypes. Absolutely not. We live in Beverly Hills. No, the only blacks and whites I want to talk about is these black shoes or these black diamonds. I am not talking about issues. And Crystal's like, so what? Are you one of those girls that doesn't see color? And Sutan just continues spiraling out of control. Like, what? Are you serious right now? What? Oh my God, bravo. Andy, come right now. Can you believe her attacking a white woman? Have her arrested now. And she was just going off. Like, she was just so upset. She's like, I'm not doing this with you right now. Are you serious? And Crystal's just so relaxed, like, so tell me, are you that girl? And then it was to be continued. And it carries on into next week. Just a hot mess. Sutan is a complete joke. But it's a no for me. Crystal, you have won me over with this episode. Hopefully you don't fuck it up and do something or say something stupid later on. But I kind of like Crystal. I love Garcelle and Crystal's energy that they are bringing to the show. I do have some breaking news that Sutan actually, she posted on her story on Instagram. Despite Crystal and my strained relationship at the time, which it wasn't strained to begin with because they were both getting along, it was disrespectful to interrupt her and not listen to her express her truth. My life is blessed by the diversity of my relationships, aka I also have black friends. I can't be racist. And I am committed to become a better listener to understand the painful realities experienced by people of color. I am sorry. And this is what everybody's famous line is. I will do better and be better. Sutan. Girl, bye. Like all I smell is lies. All I smell is Karen, and at the time, it was like she was becoming super Karen Z. Like, she was on a whole different platform. I'm like, bring it down a little bit. And I wouldn't have been mad if Crystal like took her margarita and threw it in your face. But that's it, y'all. We'll continue what happens next week. Until then, like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye. Mwah.